He said that something that seems funny when it happens to someone else may not appear funny when it happens to you. It seems amusing when it happens to others, but the day it happens to you is when you'll realize there's nothing funny about it. He said it would be better to know a person in every possible way before engaging in conflicts with them. When you truly understand someone in every way possible, you may find that conflicts with them are unnecessary. Every person has a life story hidden behind their behavior. Similarly, when you understand someone fully, you might discover that it's not worth having issues with them, as you could end up being the one who loses in the end. These words were spoken by Aesop. This is a Greek poet whose history is not well known, but his works speak for him more than his history. He is one of the greatest writers the world has ever had. He wrote various stories focusing on all kinds of topics aimed at teaching people. This person, therefore, is none other than Aesop, a Greek poet born in a place called Thrace, which today could be considered part of Europe, near Bulgaria, Greece, and Turkey. Aesop passed away in the year 564 BC. Aesop is one of the greatest storytellers Greece has ever had, known for narrating stories through writing. Interestingly, despite having written many different stories, it seems he never wrote about himself, as it is difficult to find records of his history. He often exposed the lives of others through the stories he wrote, but his own life remained a closely guarded secret. The little that people know about him was revealed by other writers and philosophers who regarded him as a role model. However, this information cannot be fully trusted because even those who tried to explain aspects of his life do not agree, as he had kept his entire life shrouded in secrecy. In some writings by the philosopher Plutarch, he tries to suggest that the reason Aesop did not want his personal life to go public is that he once lived as a slave before being freed and returning to a normal life. From that time, it is said that he decided to live without making his life public. It is said that after leaving slavery, he became an advisor to Croesus, who was the last king of Lydia. When Lydia is mentioned, it refers to what is now modern-day Turkey. There are also historians who claim that Aesop was not his real name, but rather a signature he used to identify himself in his writings. It is said to be a pseudonym he adopted for his work. Even though Aesop's history remains unknown, his works speak for themselves through various writings that have, over time, helped many people transform their lives. Some of his words could also change your life. Aesop once said that the thoughts you go to bed with are the same thoughts you wake up with, and the thoughts you wake up with are what guide your entire day. That is why you should be very mindful of the first thing you do in the morning after waking up. Because what you do upon waking has a significant impact, whether positive or negative, on your entire day. It would be beneficial to have something specific that energizes you and make it a habit, as it will become the key that unlocks everything else that follows throughout the day. This is why you will find that religions around the world place great emphasis on this concept. Worshippers are often instructed to pray at least twice a day, once before waking up and once before sleeping. It becomes the first thing you do when you wake up and the last thing you do before going to bed. Anything you do that makes you feel happy, energizes you, gives you peace, or helps you relax is what you should do first thing in the morning and last thing before sleeping. Making even a small change in your daily routine can transform your life. Aesop once said that even if you possess all the wealth in the world, when death comes for you, you die just like a beggar. In the face of death, there is no great person, no good person, no bad person, no poor person, no tall person, and no short person. In the presence of death, all people are equal. Everyone dies the same way as their fellow human beings. Aesop once said that a grateful heart always has the opportunity to continue expressing gratitude. The more you are thankful, the more opportunities you receive to be thankful. Conversely, the more you complain, the more problems you face, which lead you to complain even more. He said that the one who works is the one who has the right to eat, while the one who does not work does not even deserve to eat. He also said that small thieves are the ones who get hanged, while the big thieves are the ones sitting in offices. Aesop stated that a person is born like the open sky, born free, but as they grow, that sky shrinks until it becomes a very small box. A person is born with the whole world before them, with full rights, but as soon as they are born, their parents begin to set boundaries, saying, "You must behave this way, you must study these things." Teachers, priests, politicians, and many others begin to impose rules and limits, laws that the child must follow without question. Over time, the child who once had the entire sky before them finds themselves confined in a very small box, unable to move freely. This man once said that any act of kindness, no matter how small, can never be in vain. Do good and move on, for the kindness you extend to others will eventually come back to you. He said that the mark of a small-minded person is arrogance. Aesop also said that you should never trust someone who once wronged their family. A person who does not care for their family cannot be trusted at all. He said that every person carries two sacks, one in front of them and the other behind them, both filled with faults. The sack in front holds the faults of their neighbors, while the sack behind carries their own faults. This is why people never fail to notice the mistakes of their neighbors, but often fail to see their own. Aesop once said that it is easy to appear as a hero when everything is peaceful, but true heroes are those who reveal themselves during adversity. He said that if you want something to be done well, it's best to do it yourself. He added that before doing anything, you should always consider the consequences of your actions. Aesop also said that if you cannot say something good, it is better to say nothing at all. If you cannot speak kindly, remain silent. Speak only when your words are better than silence. He said that if you choose to associate with bad people, no one will believe that you are different from them. Aesop stated that he would rather starve in freedom than be well-fed in slavery. He said that wealth which is not put to use is as good as non-existent. Aesop concluded that in difficult times it is better to offer help before giving advice. He once said that during good times, do not disregard the future, because you may need what you wasted during your prosperous days. The money you squander today is the same money you might desperately need during tomorrow's hardships. Sweat abundantly in good times because it will save you from shedding blood in bad times. He said that you can deceive people for a while, but you cannot deceive them forever. He stated that someone who is not content with the little they have or where they are will never be content even if they achieve what they desire. He added that wise people often have nothing to say during times of calamity. Aesop said that a thief has no right to feel pain, cause chaos, or complain when they themselves are robbed. He said that those who cry and make the most noise are not always the ones who are truly suffering, and someone who smiles at you does not always do so out of love. Aesop also said that betraying a friend ultimately leaves you as the one who suffers the most. He advised never to accept advice you did not ask for. He said that arguments, no matter how convincing, cannot grant bravery to a coward. Someone once said never to argue with a coward because, to an observer, it will be impossible to distinguish the two of you. Aesop said a person may have a good head but lack wisdom. He emphasized that having a plan is one thing, but executing it is entirely another. Aesop said that poverty accompanied by peace is better than having great wealth accompanied by fear and doubt. He stated that mistakes that caused wounds can be forgiven, but they can never be forgotten. Aesop said that even when a liar tells the truth, they will not be believed except by those unaware that they are a liar. He said he would rather be what his nature created him to be than be disrespected for trying to become something he is not. He added that it is better to learn wisdom from the misfortunes of others than to gain it through your own suffering. Aesop advised being content with your position because no one can excel in everything. He said that children should not be held accountable for the mistakes of their parents. Aesop once said, "Do not worry about how things appear, because valuable and precious gifts are often hidden in small packages." He said that someone who neglects old friends because of new ones does not deserve any reward other than losing both. Aesop also said that he would rather die once than live in constant fear. Aesop made a powerful statement. You cannot win more than you think. He said that if you do not want to lose something, you must wait for the true opportunity at the right time. Aesop said that a worker cannot know if their employer is good until they make a mistake. It is only when you make a mistake that you realize if your boss is kind or cruel. He said that it is good to pray, but you must also work hard to make your prayers come true. Pray and work hard. He advised not to blame others for your mistakes, because there is always someone worse than you. Aesop said that we learn from our mistakes more through suffering than through pleasure. If you want to know more, discover more, and achieve greater things in life, suffering is a rule you must endure. What you go through shapes who you are. Aesop said that work is the source of all blessings. If you're lucky enough to have watched this video and found it helpful, I want to make sure you don't miss out on similar content in the future. It can be hard to find videos like this again unless you're notified. So, to make sure you never miss a video from this channel, I highly recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell. That way, you'll easily be able to find more videos like this one whenever they're posted. I wish you blessings and good fortune, and may you continue to have great moments.